Let's go. LSU gets the first of hopefully many defensive line commitments from Giovanni Paez, also known as Gio, and we're going to break down a few clips. So here he is, essentially playing a straight head-up nose going up against this center. He eats this double right here, and this center eventually goes upfield, and the double actually splits on him. So now we need him to split through here and get involved in this run fit, and he's able to do so. So not the best rep there. He was able to get a little lucky that both players split off of him. All right, so we get to this next play. He's taking on this center, and it's actually not the center. It's the right guard coming down here on a zone block, and you'll see him take on this right guard, okay? So we do lose some ground right here. Obviously not the best, but he does a really good job at fighting through the rep, and he eventually is able to fight off this block, get big right here, and actually end up making this tackle right here. So overall, that's pretty solid stuff. All right, so we get to here. All right, you are on the road. They are backed up, and take a look at this. Takes on this center's block, and then creates so much penetration that this left guard has to come help you. And look, they actually force what should have been a safety. This ball gets batted back into the quarterback, and they're able to survive this, right? All you got to do is throw in the direction, and they are bailed out of a situation. So I saw him get knocked down a little bit earlier, and that's fine, especially if you're going to play the A-gap role in a four-man front. I do feel watching him, he does tend to lose his feet far too often. And if you see right here, if he's able to keep his feet, he's right here rolling into this quarterback for a sack. Now, what I do like is how quickly he pops back up for a 300-pounder. That's actually pretty good, and it doesn't look like it, but if you're that big of a dude, the fact that you're able to get back into this play, it actually does get extended right here by the QB, and this is Cam Ward. He's a great quarterback. He would have been right there to help out if Ward was able to break that next wave. So I do like the hustle from the big man. All right, so this is something else I like to see. All right, you get a one-on-one matchup versus a center. Every time I see you get this matchup, it depends if LSU's going to elect to run a little bit more three-man front. I don't know if they will or not. I want to see you blow the center pause into the lap of the QB, and that's exactly what he does right there. He's still able to get it off, pause, but still, that's some good stuff. All right, it's third and Plaquemine here, and yeah, this ends up being a really impressive rep. I understand that this is basically a draw. You could see that they hold this RPO read out very long, and they actually do end up handing it off. The focus, though, is right here. Taking on this double and sitting on it for this long without giving any ground whatsoever. This is actually a really good job by Wisconsin's front across the way. And then you feel that this hole is wide open here to the right side. This end is just far upfield. You're able to scrape off of this, and I don't think it was holding. Sometimes they call that right there. That's actually a pretty good rep right there, if you ask me, going up against that double. All right, so move ahead to this Illinois game, and you see him take on this block and then eventually get down the line of scrimmage and make a really nice tackle right here. That's some nice defensive tackle play. All right, so do you think you could be an SEC or Power 5 offensive lineman or defensive lineman? This is a very good rep, but it looks bad because you'll see that his end to his right gets taken down to the ground, and it actually takes his legs out. All right? This is some really, really good defensive tackle play. So these two guys are pulling around here, and this end gets mollywopped into Paez, okay? So Paez is his legs are taken out. So what he does is he actually turns his body and just kind of contorts his way back into this play. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but that's how nasty this game could be. There are a lot of piles that pile up on him, whether it's on him or the other guys, and he just keeps playing. He's a very durable player, or at least he was last year. So as a pass rusher, obviously, Wisconsin didn't do a whole lot of head-up pass rushing. They did a lot of like these slant kind of things where you're just kind of carrying out an assignment. But overall, that's just not really his repertoire, but that's not what we need him to do. We need run stoppers. All right, so let's break down these two reps back to back. So he takes on this double, and he just gets beat really badly on this double. That's a lot of displacement from the initial line of scrimmage. But because he got beat so clean here, it makes it easier for this one-on-one player to get through here and make a tackle for loss right here. Now, this is something I've noticed watching him, okay? He'll have one rough rep and then actually follow it up with something really good. So what you'll see here on this very next play, he is, once again, head up on the center. He's not going to be doing a whole lot of that unless they elect to do that. And you'll see that this center is actually leaving Paez for the left guard. All right? So we need Paez to make sure he can maintain his free outside shoulder and actually make this tackle, because the center is getting a free run at the backer. So we really, in this situation, we don't need Paez to be a block eater. We need him to get across here and make this play, because you see this hole right here is here. So you'll see he maintains his outside shoulder, and he's able to get in there and make this play. It was a good job gang tackling as well from that backside in to help make this play.
I enjoy the movements. We have a lot more movement when I'm in the zero. We didn't have that as much last year. In terms of nickel, and this is similar movements as to last year, I think in general I'm a better player in movement. I like the straight up zero, and I can make something work out of that. But in general, I just like movement.
So this is a moment you've been waiting for. Is he actually a good football player? Now, before I give you my honest answer, feel free to drop a super thanks. These film studies do take a while. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Now, he's okay. There's no other way I could put it. He is a fine football player. And at this point, LSU just needs something at the defensive tackle position here. And those types of guys are guys that LSU has been desperately missing in this 6'3", 300 type of build. Think watered down Rashard Lawrence, if you will. Before I show you his career, you could see he was outside the top 400 in all defensive tackle grades, even though his rush grade is way better than his pass rushing grade. A guy like Jacoby Guillory was about 100 spots higher in terms of defensive tackle grading according to Pro Football Focus. I don't always agree with PFF, but that is just some extra context. And he's coming up here on his year 6 season. This is his final year he is going to play. So in 2019, he was a redshirt, didn't play at all. Obviously, that was Derek Stingley's first year. That's just to show you how long this guy has been in college. And you could see production-wise, he hasn't put up big numbers. In fact, he has never registered a single sack. That's, once again, not really his role. He is a space eater in the run game, but you're bringing in an adult. You're bringing in a guy who is year 6. You're bringing in a guy who still has some tread left on the tires, who is to bulk up this defensive tackle room that desperately needs bulking. So I do like the move. Just come into this with reasonable expectations. He is a good player. I don't think he is spectacular, but at this point, we just need as many defensive tackles as we possibly can get. So give me your honest thoughts in the comment section below, and we'll see you during the next live stream, okay? It is Power Hour LSU. Boom. Let's go, Gio. Let's go. And tonight we are doing chicken tenders. Let's go.